Welcome Pisces, Aries, to your December end of the month reading. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, friends, let's see what's going on with you. These readings will be going into December 4th, the 3rd or the 4th, somewhere around there. Definitely the first week, almost the first week of January, let's put it that way. Kind of running right into each other. Best message for the end of the month, beginning of the new year. We have the Queen of Roses in reverse. Talking about some miscommunications going on with someone, feeling like communication could be better. It could be with a friend, a family member, anyone. It could be a colleague at work, the boss. But it does feel like there is some communication that is being either withheld, like somebody needs to say something and they're not saying it. And it's because of this miscommunication. Might be holding back because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Maybe they're wearing their heart on their sleeve and you know it. So it's almost like anything I say is going to hurt your feelings, so I don't want that said. Okay. And you have the Ark of the Covenant coming out for the present. The Waterfall coming out in the recent past. And the Master of Artesian coming in upside down for the near future. And the overall card is... card for the reading, please. Friends and colleagues. So it feels like it's more of a friend or a colleague that you're having problems with. The colleagues would be the co-workers, people that you do business with. It could even be someone you go to school with if you're in college. Having the waterfall over here, it feels like there is some emotions that are running over here, trying to get past some hurtness. It feels like this may be been going on for a couple of weeks now, where it feels like you're just trying to go with the flow with this person, but it just feels like there needs to be more of a clearing the way with the situation. It feels like I don't really want to say anything too much. I'm just trying to keep the harmony alive over here between me and this person. But definitely it feels like the more that you do communicate with this person, the more misunderstandings continue to grow. Having the waterfall over here is like I was trying to heal the situation, but it just didn't go that way. It feels like the progress that you were making, there is no progress at all. So you might have been trying to heal the situation, but it's not, there's too much pain. You're holding on to too much pain, or you're holding on to too much pain. Someone was trying to heal this anyways, but it does feel like you were trying to go with the flow. Trying to be determined, but it does feel like there's some hurt feelings over here. They really, I'm going to say they hurt your feelings, but you were trying to just go with the flow. Maybe you guys just hurt each other. Trying to get past this. Just trying to allow it to go with the flow and just trying to fix the situation. And it could be just fixing the situation by just kind of ignoring the situation. You know what I mean? But that's not fixing it. If anything, that's just allowing it to kind of go its separate ways. With the Ark of the Covenant over here, it could be even a best friend. It feels like you have this contract with this person. And if this is a work, you may have a work contract that you cannot walk away from, even though you're having this misunderstanding, because you still have to go to work and still do your job. However it is, it does feel like you're contracted to this person. It could be even a spouse. But however it is, you're trying to meet your contracts. You're still trying to fix the situation. Oh my gosh, it's just not fixing. It feels like you're kind of stuck in a rut over here. You're trying to support the situation. It's a Pisces Scorpion card. It feels like you are trying to support this as much as possible by continuing to move on. But I think without really saying what needs to be said, I don't think that's really going to fix itself, you guys. And maybe it's you who needs to speak up to them to try to fix the situation, but maybe they just keep hurting your feelings. You're dealing with a fire sign. Oh my goodness. That's a ball of fire, right? Yeah, it's definitely going to be a misunderstanding. So it's almost like I'm not even going to try to travel to you about this situation. I'm just going to work around it. So it does feel like there's like a working around the situation. But it does feel like when they do travel towards you, ow, it's a fireball. Throwing fireballs, man, they may think that they're Dragon Ball Z over here. Yeah, because it's like if I do bring this up, or I do bring up this contract that we are working on together, or whatever this is, bring up this situation, you're just angry. This person is just very angry. And you're trying to, yeah, you're the Queen of Cups. So you're trying your hardest to keep the situation as positive as possible, using your intuition and trying to fix the situation within, but there's nothing you can really do. Spirit says just kind of relax about the situation. Don't push on it too much. Kind of standing your ground for the situation is a good thing, but actually the way you're kind of dealing with it is probably the best thing you can do at this time, because it doesn't feel like they're going to come around at this time anytime soon. No, don't look backwards. Just keep moving forwards. The best thing you can do to keep the contract alive within the situation is just to keep moving forward. Because bringing this up is not going to do anything. So even if you do have something that needs to be, what you believe needs to be fixed within the situation, there's really nothing you can do. It looks like they're going to hold on to this. They're not going to, yeah, they're very underdetermined to want to. They're hold on, they're fearful of the situation. Yeah, they're fearful of being wrong. Definitely fearful of being wrong. But they also don't want the relationship to 100% die out, though, either. So they'd rather fabricate the story or walk around the situation. It's best that you just walk around it. But the problem is when they're throwing their fireballs at you, they're actually fabricating the story to make it different from what the whole situation was to begin with. Meaning they're not owning it up. They're not owning up to it, right? They're definitely not going to own up to this situation or tell you that you're right. They want to continue to make it sound like you're wrong. Take it how it resonates, but that's exactly what it is. They might even gaslight the situation. It could be gaslighting you. Trying to keep you happy. It could be gaslighting you too, not to bring up the situation because they know that they're wrong. Master Artesian over here, it's like, well, I can't really focus on my work and do the things that I need to do. Spirit says just relax a little bit and keep the peace within it, because otherwise it's just going to keep sorting you. It feels like this could be a work colleague for a lot of you. There's definitely not going to be any peace offering going on. They're not going to apologize for the situation because they'd have to admit that they were wrong. They'd have to admit that they were gaslighting the situation, that they were walking around it, that they didn't want to be, they didn't want you to be right, or however this situation is. Everybody's story is a little different, but definitely they're not going to wave no peace flag at you. So continuing to just move forward. Yeah, otherwise it's just going to be an argument, because they're just going to want to argue their fact that they're right, which is just going to give you the Five of Cups, because it's going to make you feel down because, you know, that's not the story. Yeah. So you're just going to have to realize the toxicity that they're trying to push out. And the only reason that it's toxicity is because when you don't want to admit your wrongs and your failures, or that you didn't sign this contract right, or doing something of this nature, it's toxic, guys. It's kind of evil in its own way, right? Because you're not going to give me any credit. And maybe that's what it is too. Maybe they're not giving you any credentials for the things that you did within a contract, trying to take your credentials away. Yeah, they're just almost like they're just not perceiving it. They've lost perception and sight of what's real. So they're not going to allow this to have a happy ending or bring on any kind of new beginning. So they're just gonna let that just keep going. Wow, they're gonna hold that tight for their own success and their own reasons, putting themselves in the knowing. They really do believe that they're right, however the situation is. But like I said, if you want to keep the friendship going, or however it is, it looks like they're going to tie your hands behind your back about this situation. But you pretty much know that. Keep the passion alive. That's all they're trying to do as well, is trying to keep the passion alive. So it seems like you're both kind of trying to get to the truth, but trying to find the balance, but there's going to be hard to find the balance when it's kind of draining you from the truth. So I don't really see a transformation within that situation because there's not enough generosity going on between the two of you. But you can still have the satisfaction. There's still money coming in if this is a job. It's just that it's kind of out of the balance. And, you know, you don't want to have any drama coming out of this because you still have a lot of open doors coming out with a lot of prosperity. Wow, I just, you know what, I just don't like, though, that they're kind of like watching you. And it's almost like, are they going to watch you? And if this is a job, are they going to watch you go to the boss and say, you know, I did all the work? And I don't know, they almost feel like they're kind of watching you because they're afraid that you're going to kind of throw them under the bus. And then that's just because they know that they're wrong. They're afraid you're going to go to someone else and tell them how wrong they were. Wow, you know, guys, that's a heavy conscience to have to put up with. Why would they even worry about whether or not you're going to go to someone else to say something? What kind of conscience are they holding? Guilty conscience. And if it really is a job and then they find out that you were the one who did all the work or however the situation is, it's going to make them not look very good. And they are worried about that. So they do watch you to see if you're going to take the drama to someone higher and bigger. For some of you who are in a bigger job. That's crazy. Or even if it's just a regular friendship, they want to know who you're talking to. What friend are you telling? Are you telling the King of Coins over here? Are you telling the Taurus over here what their truth is? Well, they don't like that. You guys could be dealing with a Libra or with a Sagittarius. Some kind of fire sign or another air sign. Having some kind of air in this, it could be another type of air sign like a Gemini. But yeah, they don't like that. But if, you know, about them air signs, especially if it's a Libra, they're going to hold that dear and true to themselves and hold that grudge against you. And I do see kind of a grudge over here. Yeah, they're afraid, though, that you're going to throw them under the bus somehow or another. Like I said, that's a guilty conscience, though, because, you know, I'm sitting over here thinking, why would you even do that? Why would you care? You're just going to go on your merry way. It's like, fine, if you don't want to do this and do that, then I'll just do what I need to do. Having a guilty conscience is the only reason why I would sit over here and think, why, you know, you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Wow, a little paranoid, huh? I see some paranoia going on over here. And that's because they're afraid they're going to get caught with the truth. And then this other person say, well, that's not the way it was perceived, so therefore you're wrong. They don't want to hear that. Oh boy, they don't. Look at this. They'll fabricate and fabricate and fabricate the truth until they, you know, until it's completely just crumbled to the ground, to where it's like, I don't have any say in it. You know what? Forget it. It's like, lose my friendship over this, or let you just sit over here and believe you're right. And a lot of you are just doing just that. Fine, whatever. Rest easy with your lies. I don't really care. Just, you know, let it go. It's one of those situations where it's like, just let it go. But when they're feeding paranoia into it, they're causing their own insecurities, which I don't even see you having any insecurities about this. I see sadness, a little distrust, but I don't see any insecurities to where it's like, man, just do what you're going to do. So, yeah, they're carrying all these insecurities with them. Not a good way to start the new year by holding on to all those insecurities. You know, they need to let that go. You know, guys, I think what the problem with this whole situation is they've blown something out of proportion so bad, and they're just making their own life miserable and making your life miserable as well, because it looks like it was something that was like, you know, if you just come to the conclusion and tell me that this is what happened, or that you didn't put my name on that contract, or, you know, underneath this, you know, whatever it was, it could totally be fixed and be balanced and everything would be fine. But they didn't. They blew it all out of proportion to where they caused all this drama and all this BS, and then lying about it and doing all these other things. They dug their own grave. And then they tried to bring you down in it with them. And you're like, no. But it seems like they turned something that was, no, it wasn't wonderful to begin with, and it wasn't tiny. It was kind of big, but they blew it out, right? And by throwing fireballs at it and making the fire grow. So they did this themselves. They made this worse than it was. Because if you look in the past over here, yeah, I was crutching and I was just trying to let it go. But you want to sit over here and throw fireballs and lie about the situation. So who made it grow? Wow. Okay, guys. And that was it for you. Until next time. Peace and love. Bye-bye.